And then we start again. Hello, everybody. This is the release engineer meeting. Today is 15th of February, 2022. And remember this, we are recording this meeting and gonna be posted like later in the YouTube channel for the Kubernetes CNCF. And this meeting is under the Kubernetes Code of Conduct. And to resume the conduct is just be nice with everybody, be kind. Let's see. Let's get the agenda. One second. I'm checking how I can add the host key.
Let me promote you to co-host so you don't have to do it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, these host keys always I don't know where to put.
There you go. I made you co-host. You're good to go.
Thank you. I'm gonna share the screen with the agenda for today. And if there is any new attendee for this meeting that want to introduce yourself, please. You have the stage for now. No? Okay. Let's go to the release manager updates, and maybe we go to the open discussions, like, because this is part of the updates. I'll fast forward this live. Sasha, do you want to comment on that?
Yeah, one second before we go to this topic. I saw that we have some batch releases this week. Do we already have a release manager who wants to take care of that?
If no one of the managers, I can take those for this cycle.
Yeah.
Hey, Carlos, you want me to take notes for you?
Yeah, I was just adding the patch release
Okay.
mentioned here. Okay, I'm gonna run that, but if someone like wants to help as well, like
Yes,
anything.
I got it for you. It's Joseph.
Thank you. We, like, just a comment, we have the patch release this week, and we're gonna release 121, 122, 123. The 120, we like until now we are not gonna release those because there is no critical issues, PRs for that branch. And by the end of this month, the 120 is gonna be end of life, and then we're gonna remove from the schedule as well.
Yeah, and it looks like that we had one question in the SIG release Slack channel. Let me just link it. Where it has been questioned why cherry picks haven't been merged before the deadline. So we somehow have to make sure that we skim through the list of open cherry picks before the deadline happens. I missed it this time as well, to be honest. I'm not sure. Maybe we want to have something like an auto notifier or something like this on the mailing list 1 week before the cherry pick deadline happens. I think something like this would be helpful for us.
I did on Thursday last week and Friday the cherry pick approval and review process. We merged yesterday the ones for Go updates, which contain security fixes. That was the only PRs we merged outside from the cherry pick deadline. Yeah, after updates after the cherry pick.
Carlos, I can split the releases with you if you want.
Maybe Adolfo, we can do the same as we did like in the other cycles. I started like in my morning, and then maybe you do the final mile only.
Well, when are you
Yes,
cutting
of course.
the releases?
Today's Thursday. Let's get here the actual schedule.
Thank you. Sorry, I should know this. But I'm on my phone right now.
The cut is tomorrow.
Okay, if it's tomorrow, I'm available. I can take it like from the start if you're very busy, or I'm like on call if you need to hand it over. I know that you two are massively busy, so I will be here. I'm just not available after Thursday, but like Thursday and Friday I would be traveling, but tomorrow I'll be available all day.
Which time zone you are located right now, Veronica?
Europe, so
Okay, then I'm gonna ping you tomorrow if you need any help.
perfect.
Thank you.
Great.
Anything else, Sasha?
No.
Okay.
We do have the 1.2 for pre-release today. So we are releasing Alpha.2, Alpha.3, and Jim is going to cut the release today. Thanks, Jim.
Yep, no problem.
Cool.
All right. So
Okay.
this auto fast forward job is live and it works. It got some flaky over the weekend because we had a Golang update, but this is also resolved right now. And one of the next steps I had in mind was providing some documentation around how it works. We have those cherry pick process, and I think this is probably not a good fit. And we also have this release phases documentation in SIG release. I would like to add it there, but I don't think that's enough. So I'm wondering if you have anything in mind where we can put the documentation around it. I think it would be cool if the Prowbot on PR creation somehow identifies that we are on code thaw and then leaves a message like, you don't have to cherry pick this into the ongoing release branch right now because the auto fast forward will take care of it. But I'm not sure how feasible this is or how easy it is to implement it, because we would have to detect somehow that we are on code thaw.
And there is any label? No, right? When we apply, it's just a configuration, right?
Yeah, it's this milestone restrictions thing.
Yeah.
I mean, we can do the same check like we do in the auto fast forward. We look for the latest release branch and then find out if there's a final tag already available. This would probably work. This would also bring me to the next question. I can investigate that and think about if we want to make it documented this way. I think documentation nearby the contribution process is great. But I'm wondering if you want to do fast forward until the final tag has been cut, or if we want to stop fast forward at the first. I mean, we can't stop at the first release candidate because the first release candidate is the tag where we create release branch, right? So do we really want to fast forward every 6 hours until we cut the final tag? And then we still have the time gap between creating the final tag and the last time we did a fast forward. So how do we want to fill that gap? Or
need to think a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, we could just add an additional documentation step to one of our release managers handbook that we just double check before cutting the release that everything is in sync, something like this.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anyone have any comments about this or questions? No. Okay, let's move to the second one. I first try to get an artifact signing service account into kates.io. There's
Yeah.
this.
I created this one. I was wrapping my mind around how it could work. I'm not completely sure if I understood everything correctly. Arnaud already commented on my first comment where, I mean, right now for building in GCP, we use the default service account, right? And
Right.
those default service accounts have those number prefix and then add cloud build gserviceaccount.com. And
Right.
we need a new service account definitely for keyless signing. And then we need this token creator role.
Yeah, we need to create this service account with the permissions for the OIDC, like to generate the keys. And that we should attach to the cloud build service account. We attach to the cloud build itself.
Yeah. So my question then would be, if we always build with this default service account, how could we identify? How should it work, right? How would we identify or do it for all projects and not only for the release project? I see you raising hand. Arnaud, do you want to bring some light into this discussion?
Well, you need to basically explore the entire organization and get all the staging project, and also get the ID for every staging project, because basically that number you say is the ID of the project. So we can either change that and use a dedicated service account for building and give the right permission to that service account, or we do some kind of exploration every time we do a promotion process. I don't know if I'm clear.
Yeah, I mean, then it would be probably used.
Yeah,
good
because
we create two service accounts, right?
Because the signature need to happen during the promotion process or during the release.
Both.
Oh, okay.
So for staging, we would like to sign the artifacts into the immediate location, and then K-Promo will take care of signing it again into the production bucket.
Okay, so we're talking about two different service accounts, because there's one specifically for the promotion and then one for and the default one is the one used for during the release process.
Yeah.
Which means I'm more interested to have I don't know if it's simple, but we should have a dedicated account for the release process instead of using the default one provided by the project. And we give that service account the permission to create token,
To create a token and also to run the cloud build job, right?
Yep.
And any other API they requested.
Well, and the service account for the promotion process should get also the same permission to be able to generate the token for co-sign signature.
Right.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. Yeah. Okay.
One thing I think we discussed it yesterday in the leads meeting, but it's not clear. We are going to sign in the job release job, right? and then when the kpromo runs to promote from staging to production, we're gonna re-sign.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would just copy the existing signatures like over to the new one and just sign if there is no signature.
Well, the idea is that you basically have to, so the promoter has to accept the images from staging. And the idea is that the signature from staging is going to attest that that process that you trust and know build those images. And then, so the promoter can trust those images based on the signature. And then we're going to publish those. And the idea is that the final images that get out to the public are going to have a signature. So right now, it's going to be just from the service account that you're talking about here. But in the end, the idea is that we are going to have a top, let's say, organization-wide Kubernetes account, which is going to sign for all the projects. So, for example, if you think about another project like, say, I don't know, Cluster API. Let's say that that project was to generate its own images. They can sign their image in any way they want, and then the promoter can use that signature to accept the images for promotion. That signature, what it means is that the project somehow decided and entrusted someone or some process to have images staged for production, for promotion. Then the promoter reads that image, accepts them based on that signature. And so that's the first use. And the second one is going to be the Kubernetes-wide signature, which is going to ensure the public that that image went through the Kubernetes security process and it can be trusted. So that's the use of both. And the final image is going to have, you're going to be able to verify. So the final image is going to have attached both the image from the signature from staging and also the image and the signature that we generate at promotion.
Right. And we are not copying the signature generate from staging to the production, right?
Yeah, no, the idea is that we copy them.
I will copy as well.
Yeah. So the first signature set is going to be carried over to the final image.
Got it.
And then get a new one.
So if they are careless, how you basically carry that without losing the token?
Because the signature is going to contain the the service account in the signature.
Yeah, okay. and the copy, so the images are copied without any modification. So you get the same, the SHA in staging is still valid for as a digest for the final images that go out into production. So the signature should be still valid.
Yeah.
Are we doing this for all the artifact or just the container images?
Yeah, so we're going to be signing a lot of things. So the images are going to be signed, and the first thing we're working on is the image signing MVP, which encompasses all of the things that we been talking about here. But we are also going to add signatures to the artifacts, like the binaries, and also there's going to be some internal signing of things like the attestations that go in the release process from one phase to another.
Yeah.
Okay.
So ideally it would be, so I mean, what we can do as a next step would be that we create dedicated service accounts where the Google Cloud build jobs run in for staging projects. Because my main goal would be also to enable other projects for signing, right? So, and then based on that service account, which is then the default, not per staging project, not only one service account, but new service accounts for creating Google Cloud build jobs for every staging project. And then creating a service account on top of that, which can be used for keyless signing.
Yeah, so one of the discussions that we had ongoing is that in the end, we want each project to decide what's the best course of action for them to get their things into signing. We are going to be providing the best tooling and advice we can to get those smaller projects onto the same level of process security that Kubernetes itself is going to have. But if for some reason or something that reality demands of them, those projects want to do another, say that, let's say, for example, it's a project where it's simply one person and that one person is managing all the project and decides to do the signing in her laptop. Okay, fine, and we're going to be accepting those images, those signatures. In the beginning, we will not have a way to, let's say, discriminate from from signature to signature, let alone from a signature that's related to the Kubernetes organization. But in the next few months, once we have the trust delegations in place, I think one thing this is still for discussion and still in planning, but one thing we're going to be probably enforcing is making sure that the signatures of projects that want to get things into staging are part of the Kubernetes trust delegation. So right now, the delegation is not in place, and right now the promoter will accept any signature whatsoever for an image. So the first phase is you send an image to promotion. If you don't sign it, it's going to be promoted as always. But if there's a signature, it's going to check it and reject the image if the signature is not valid. The second phase is going to be ensuring that we can match a certain signer to a certain image. So the idea is that not everyone can sign the images and have them up for promotion. Just each project is going to be able to choose who or what process can sign those. And the third phase is going to be ensuring that those signatures not only belong to a particular person or service account, but also that those signatures can be routed back to the Kubernetes trust delegation and ultimately to the full zero root instinctor. I don't know if that makes sense. And so that opens up one way of doing that for the promoter. And then we have to decide the proper architecture that we're going to be following inside of Krell for the service accounts. And then there are many ways to handle that at the project level.
That makes sense. Thanks, Adolfo. Any other questions or comments before we move to the next topic? Okay, there is I guess a question here about the release notes.
Yeah, I just wanted a quick clarification while I was here.
Okay, the question is,
there was two release notes in a single cut about updating the Golang. So should I just remove the older one since it's not really relevant to people who will be reading the release notes anymore?
I don't remember how we did this in the past. I think that we keep it, like all the things, but I have no opinions on that. Like either way, we can remove or keep.
My take would be to keep it. because in the end, we are going to, so this one is like a particular one because we have two Golang bumps in the same pre-release. But if you think about it and you get a Golang bump in Alpha 1 and one in Alpha 2, when we do the final release notes for 124, they're going to end up in the same release notes documents anyway. So I think it's safe to leave them there because if they were in two pre-releases, they're going to be in the same document together anyway.
Yep.
All righty.
Okay.
I have one more question regarding the copying of the signatures, which is probably a good opportunity for our documentation. So in the changelog, we added the section about having or listing the container images there. And the idea was to list some link or add some link to the signatures for the manifests and the container images. And Adolfo, do you think it would be possible that we create those links to the signatures when we create or when we sign the images on Krell's stage?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw the issue, and I saw that Marco assigned it to himself. So I thought that you had discussed it between you. But my only question there is or rather, where would you point a link to? So the signature is going to be stored inside of the OCI registry, right?
Yeah.
So what would you link there?
Yeah. Yeah, a link to the registry blob for the signature where I can pull the data from.
Okay, we could certainly add during release. Simply, I don't know, take a look at the stored layers and put a link direct to it, or even another one could be that we extract the actual signature attestations from those and store them in the release bucket as well. That's another one.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking we could still create the links for the changelog when we generate a changelog, which would be a good place. And then, yeah, those links are basically dead links. And after the image promotion has been done, those links go live, and then we can draft the release from it, right? Something like this.
Okay.
Cool. Sounds great.
Okay, let's go to, if there is no any other questions, let's go to the test grid review. Let's open here. Where is it? Okay.
Oh, so just can I add one before we jump into the
Yes.
review?
Go ahead.
So regarding the mirroring of the images and the blobs to AWS, I see Eddie and Rihanna here, so just wanted to share with you. So last week I did a thorough refactor of the image promoter to make the API surface a little bit cleaner. And we are now in a much better position to start adding the code to do the mirroring. So if you have any, I'm not sure if there have been any progress about the actual accounts or maybe a staging environment where we can start to test that. And I'm happy to start working on that probably by the end of this week, doing some of the initial copying.
We can hear you.
You're muted, Eddie.
You're still mute.
Oh, no, I'm good now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Something keeps lowering my microphone volume. I have no idea what it is. That's awesome, Adolfo. Nice. Rian, where do we stand with that account creation? Do we just want to create them a one-off account so they can get started, or?
We would have liked to create the account the way we wanted final, but if we need a sandbox to test it, yes, then I think we can create the account manually just for a test. I think that would be workable. What do you think, eh?
Okay, so I'm thinking that the first way to go could be to wire some of that copying into the end-to-end tests. And so probably if we could get a bucket to copy some of the blobs during the end-to-end testing and a service account to go with it, I think we could start doing some progress there if we have one to get into the image promoter.
Okay, we'll see what we can create for you, or reach out on Slack and discuss where we are. Yeah, that would be nice if we can start testing.
Perfect. Thank you.
Arnaud, I see you raised your hand.
I'm just curious about what's the test is about. Are we doing promotion from GCR to a public content registry, or are we just pushing blobs, image layers of the containers?
So so right now it would be just a copying of the image blobs. That's okay. The first goal to get once we promote an image, ensure that the blobs of that image get copied to the S3 bucket, wherever we choose it to be. I mean, we could certainly do that as an emulated locally, maybe in some way, but I would like to have a testing account in order to test the latency and see how it behaves in the actual promoter.
Okay.
Arnaud, did we make a decision on multi-region S3 buckets versus CloudFront?
No, because we were supposed to talk about funding. I think we plan to talk about that tomorrow during Schizophrenia meeting, because if we want to make that decision, we need to be sure we have enough financial resources to support that approach, or is either multi-bucket, have one bucket per region, or basically use CloudFront plus 2 to 3 bucket across different continents. So but before we make that decision, we need to be sure those approaches are correctly financed. So I don't think it's a blocker, but we need to be sure we can basically afford that.
Okay. I had to write a proposal internally for getting all that funding and an account manager. So that was sent off to people above me in pay grade. So I'll follow up and check in on that. I asked for $3 million in credits to match what GCP gives us. So hopefully funding will not be an issue. The reason I ask that though is, if we have any data in terms of like cost estimate for either route, if anyone can send that to me, that'd be super helpful too. I can put that in there. And then the reason I bring that up is we should keep that in mind when starting the image promoter work. If we're going to have to worry about multi-region buckets, or I don't know the internals of that tool, Adolfo. So just keep that in mind that we might have to publish to multiple regions, or CDN might help. So.
Okay, sounds good.
If Eddie or Frian have any blocker, we can basically tell me, are we trying to create an account for a user for Adolfo?
Yeah, I'll let Rihanna and the II folks take care of that if you want to work with them.
Okay.
But as far as data goes, if anyone has estimates or cost or ideas, I will cram everything into that proposal I wrote. So.
But maybe we can copy just for one bucket, and that we can have a process in AWS that just like spread to the other buckets in the other regions.
It's technically possible. Right? I'm sorry, it's technically possible with some limitation. I think that's we need to deal with technical limitation related to Amazon. So we need to basically do some experiment and see what's work
Right.
best for us.
Perfect. Any other comments on this topic?
Adolfo, our workday starts now. It's 5 a.m. in New Zealand. So we'll jump on that and then we'll be in tomorrow's Kate's info meeting if you want to join us there. And we can knock out further details.
Yes, of course. I'll be there.
Good. And we'll ping you on Slack if we have any questions.
Cool.
Thanks, mate.
Cool. Any other thing? We have 7 minutes, I guess, 8 minutes. Let's take a quick look on the SIG release test grid boards. I got an email I guess today or yesterday about this one, GCI GC ingress. But I didn't had time to take a look on if there's any issue open for this one. And the others looks like it's more flaky one. Let's go to the informing one. Yeah. It's been a long time that I don't roast this meeting. Sasha, do you have any guides on the test grid stuff we are checking?
No.
Okay.
But I mean, the question would be, this relang blocking test should be flaky or green somehow before we cut the release. But it looks like that it has been flaky since quite some time, right?
Which one?
This
GCI?
GCE, yeah. Ingress.
Yeah,
I mean, it has been green, yes, 2 days ago. Yeah, okay. So
yeah,
it really looks flaky,
yeah,
or really flaky since quite some time. So
yeah, since beginning of the month.
yeah, I mean, creating an issue and looking into it was probably a good idea, but I don't think this should be release blocking for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a quick look on the blocking here for the branches. Yeah, it's flaking. 122. It's similar to 123 and then 21. Yeah. Yeah, it's just flaking. It's almost green.
Yeah. I mean, regarding this SIG release thread I was linking in the chat, I can link it again. Do we want to push back on the request of merging those cherry picks, or do we want to raise an exception? Would be my question here.
Oh, this one.
I mean, we really missed it. So it has been open since 2 weeks, and nobody from us was really looking into it. So,
but those was approved because I did some. Maybe I missed this one. 20 days ago. Yeah, I missed it. Oh, it's my bad.
No, it's not your fault. So I'm just wondering now, okay, we really missed it. Looks like a small change, so we probably can raise an exception here. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is a more generic one. Yeah, I would say we can raise an exception here as well.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to go ahead and approve them?
Yeah, I'm gonna take after this meeting, I'm gonna take a deep look on those and check.
Okay.
But I agree.
Cool.
Cool. I don't think we're gonna have time for the board review, but does anyone have anything that is in pending review or need some look on PRs or issues that you can mention now? Otherwise, we can discuss offline as well. No? Adolfo? You're looking like want to make a question? No?
Oh, no.
Okay, then if no one have any other question or comment, I would say like let's end this meeting and then give back like this 3 minutes. Okay. Thank you all. See you next time.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, everybody.
See you soon.
Cheers.